Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to help you fix that lack of life, muddy, flat sounding kick drum. I'm going to give you a couple of EQ moves that you can use with any EQ to make your kick drum sound punchy, more exciting, more lively, and help cut through a mix. And I'm going to give you a bonus tip that if you really want to get the whole drum set with some more energy and some more rocking, still stay tuned to that. So make sure you like, share, subscribe. So we're going to jump right in here into Studio One. So before I show you the EQ move, I want to give you a little taste of this song. This song is a mix that's completely done, with the exception of I've turned off the processing on the kick drum for this tutorial. This song is by James D. Cooler. The name of the song is Imaginary Fears. Make sure you click his link in the description box below and check out his music. He's awesome. This is pretty much, as I said, a finished mix, but we have our kick drum here where I've turned off all the processing so we can show you this little trick. So here is a verse and a chorus section to Imaginary Fears with the drums the way they are, and then we're going to jump into the tip. Here we go.
I'm a little bit lost in the world after all the shit that I've been through. Leave me out of sight, don't ask me why I feel so blue. I know the time will heal the scars and fears of my past. Day by day I feel that I'm slowly coming back. And here comes the rain, I feel no pain. There ain't a single thing today that drives me insane. When it gets dark and home's too far.
Okay, so it sounds okay. You could hear the kick, but it lacks that definition. It's a little flat. It's a little lost in the mix, especially when we get to the chorus. And although it's there, it doesn't have that nice thump and that thickness that we want to kind of get our head moving, to kind of drive the song. It doesn't meet up with the rest of the drum set. So let's solo up these drums here, just so you can hear what we're talking about. So here's just the drum bus solo. Again, no processing on the kick. And it sounds okay the way that is. That's the raw kick drum, and that's a well-recorded kick drum. So this will work whether you have a really great recorded kick drum or whether your kick drum recording is a little lackluster. These things will work. Let's solo this up and let's listen to it. I'm going to turn it up a little extra loud so you can hear it a little bit better. So here's the raw kick drum as it was recorded. Again, not bad, but we want it to punch more. We want it to cut through that mix. Get out your stock EQ. I'm going to do this with this PreSonus Pro Q3, but you can do this with any EQ. Okay? So this is in bypass mode. Let's unbypass this, and then let me take you through the 3 or 4 moves that I use, and I'm going to show you a quick little way that you could dial it in for your kick drum, because every kick drum is going to be a little different depending on how it was recorded, the type of kick drum, the type of microphone, etc., etc. Here we go. I'm going to play it, and then I'm going to unbypass it so you could hear the result. Okay, so right away, we hear a big difference in the low ends. We hear it get a lot more focus, a lot more cleaned up, and is a little bit more attack and a little more click. Let me show you here. So again, these frequencies are going to be in the ballpark for any kick drum, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bypass this, and I'm going to put another instance of this on here, and I'm going to do this for you from scratch. So let me get another PreSonus EQ out here. And again, you can use any stock EQ. I recommend if you're a beginner and you're new to mixing that you use something that has a graphic display like this, because this is going to help aid you, as opposed to using something like an SSL or a channel strip EQ where you can't see what's going on with the audio. So here is the raw drum here. Okay, not bad. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking for areas where I want to cut. So the first area, rough area between like 230 and about 300 hertz is somewhere where a kick drum could sound a little bit more nasally like this. So we're going to pick a point. We're going to drag it up here. We're going to narrow the Q a little bit, and we're going to do a little bit of frequency searching for where that kick drum doesn't sound very good. Okay, so right around 182 hertz is the center frequency, and you know we're picking up some frequencies on the left and the right side of that. We're up to about 220 hertz where it doesn't sound its greatest. So now we're going to lower it down and we're going to get rid of that sound. So it tightens up the kick quite a bit. Your frequency point is going to be on either side of that. You got to go up there, search around, and check it out, okay? So once we get it, we cut some of that out, and how much you pull out, just use your ears. It's totally dependent on your kick drum, but this trick will work. Now, the second place I want to go is I want to check in that 500 hertz range. Okay, the 400 to 500 is usually where a drum will sound a little bit more woolly, a little bit more cardboardy, a little bit flat sounding. So I'm going to pick a point up here around 500 and I'm going to scoop around here and see what I hear. Right there around 577. So I'm going to lower that. Okay, now that I got rid of some of the offending frequencies, now I want to say, well, what do I want to do to enhance this? I want to hear a little bit of click, a little bit of attack on the drum so we can get it to cut through the mix, and I want a little bit more thickness on the bottom. That's what it was really lacking. So let's start with the top. Now the top again is going to be somewhere between that 4K and 8K range. 4K is going to give you a little bit more splat, a little bit more attack. The 8K is going to give you a little bit more presence. So let me show you. Grab a point, come up here. Let's narrow the Q just a little bit. And let's start surfing around to where we like the way it sounds. Okay, so that 7 to 8K range is going to give you one type of sound. Now if I back it up here to about 4 to 5K, listen to the difference. Okay, depending on what you want and what you need. We want this to cut through a little bit more, so I think I want a little bit more of that 4K. So now we're going to bring that down a little bit. I'm going to widen the Q back out a little. Now the next thing I want is that low end. Where's that going to be? That's going to be somewhere around 60 hertz or so. I'm also going to use a low cut filter around 20 just to get rid of the real low end rumbly stuff. Okay, so I'm going to grab a point here. Again, between 45 and about 60 hertz is where it's going to live depending on your kick drum recording. Hello friend, I hope you're enjoying the video. Hey, I got a 90-minute mixing course that is perfect for beginners and I want to give it to you right now absolutely free. Go to homerecordingmadeeasy.com. The link is in the description box below and download it today. No fancy plugins, no expensive gear. I'll show you how to get fantastic sounding mixes using only the stock plugins that come with your DAW. Mac or PC, any DAW works. Don't wait, this will seriously jumpstart your mixing and get your skills to the next level. I'll see you inside the course. Now back to the video. Let's check it out. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to boost and we're going to listen. There it is, around 50 hertz, right? And don't be afraid to boost it quite a bit. We're boosting it about 9 dB. We're going to put it in the mix and see how it sounds. But here's the before. Lot more focused, right? Let's bring it back into our drum mix. Let's just listen to it with our drums without the rest of the instruments, and then we'll bring it into the full mix. Here's just the drum bus. Here we go. Right? Much more punchy, a little bit more snap. Let's put it into the whole mix and let's see how it sounds. And then I'm going to give you a bonus tip if you want to even enhance this even further. Here we go. Let's check this out. Here's the whole mix, and I'll take this EQ move in and out. Here we go.
I'm a little bit lost in the world after all the shit that I've been through. Leave me out of sight, don't ask me why I feel so blue. I know the time will heal the scars and fears of my past. Day by day I feel that I'm slowly coming back. And here comes the rain, I feel no pain.
then you just dial it into taste. But now we have a drum that's more punchy. We got rid of that nasally sound. We get a little bit more attack, and it's much easier to get it to cut through the mix. It's not lost completely in the mix, okay? Done with any stock EQ. Any EQ you can do this with. Let me give you one more bonus tip and then we're gonna head out of here. If you really wanna now jump ahead, and this will work with kick drums, snare drums, toms, everything, using sample reinforcement is really gonna help you. I like to use Trigger 2. Trigger 2 is the industry standard, but there's other ones on the market. By duplicating the kick track, doing a complete copy and adding Trigger 2 to that duplicate and using just a stock sample that comes with, or a stock preset that comes with Trigger 2, and there's a bunch of third-party stuff out there you can purchase, but this is just the ones that come with Trigger, part of their stock package. I picked one of their presets, and the reason why I picked their presets as opposed to just a single sample is because not only do you get, let me turn this up a little, not only do you get the close miking, but you also get the rooms and the overheads that were recorded as part of this preset. And then with Trigger 2, you can layer even additional one-shots like I have here. So you can build a nice preset where you have a little bit of room to give it a little bit of length, and you can use the mixer here to mix it. If you want to see a full tutorial on how I use Trigger 2, leave comments below and I'll do that for you. But let me just show you what happens when we blend in the sample. Yeah, so we're going to start with it down. We'll start with just the drum bus. Okay, here we go. Just the drum bus, just the drums. And I'll blend in the trigger sample and see how it really enhances things. And then blend it with the original kick. So it really helps enforce that kick drum. Now, it's not any louder, but it's thicker. It's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more exciting, and it's going to make it much easier to punch through a dense mix. So let's go ahead and let's unmute the drums and let's listen to the whole mix. And I'll blend this in, trigger, and then I'll shut it off. I'll mute the track so you can hear with and without it. Here we go.
I'm a little bit lost in the world after all the shit that I've been through. Leave me out of sight, don't ask me why I feel so blue. I know the time will heal the scars and fears of my past. Day by day I feel that I'm slowly coming back. And here comes the rain, I feel no pain. There ain't nothing.
Okay, so it still sounds really natural, but you have a lot more control this way. You're not kind of maxed out. You didn't run out of headroom as far as getting that kick drum to cut through. So Trigger 2, it's not essential. You could do everything I just showed you with your stock plugin without using Trigger, but if you're someone that's serious about mixing and you work with a lot of live recorded drums, having a sample replacement program like Trigger is really helpful because it gives you a lot more flexibility and it works with any style of music and it's not terribly expensive. So check that out. So leave comments below. Let me know what you do with your, if you have Trigger or if you use samples and how you enhance your kick drum. And if you want to see more videos like these, leave those comments below. And until the next video, I've been Dave with HomeRecordingMadeEasy.com. Thank you so much for watching me, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.